Hi, grade sevens. It's Mr. Maya here coming to you this week with your first creative task that I'm going to get you to work on while you're at home. This work is going to get you to work with the elements that you've learned this past week. So line, shape, form, color, value, space, and texture. And some understanding of your elements of color theory that we look at as well. So when I talk about value, I'm talking about creating shadows, and that can be done using the techniques we looked at. So hatching, cross-hatching, stippling, smudging, but also using tonal range and the effects of light versus dark. So how hard we push a pencil crayon or how hard you push your pencil to create light and dark. And when we look at your understanding of color theory, here I'm looking at what types of colors you've chosen to use. Maybe you only chose to use primary colors, tertiary colors, or perhaps you only chose to work with warm or cool colors in creating your artwork. So here I'll go through a couple examples to show you what I'm looking for, and so that when you go to design your own project, you can keep these in mind. Okay. Generally, if we're in my classroom, you would have had about 3 periods to work on this, so about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how much time we looked at for the rest of the week. So this first item here is the eye, and in the eye, you can see the artist has included the entire color wheel, but they also included the highlight just at the top to show the reflective light, right? And then that also affects the lightness and darkness of each color in the eye. And then in the eyebrow and the space around the eye, they've used that light and dark element of black and gray and shading to create a 3D effect on the eye. The second element here, these crystals, you can see the person has chosen to use their color theory elements of using the colors of pink, blue, and purple, right? All related colors to show some 3D elements on these crystals while creating these highlight elements to show the light reflecting off the object. This next item here, the light bulb, as you can see, this is one that a number of students have done, and this student chose to use very light tints of yellow to show the light on the light bulb, and then it gets dimmer as you go out from the light bulb into the darkness. And here you could actually change this up and create it using multiple colors. I've had students do this with a rainbow before going out, again, showing me the whole color wheel from the light bulb all the way out. But you can play around with it and make it your own and design it. The last one here, the student has just created a 3D object, and they used mainly the hatching shading technique that they looked at this week to show the 3D sides of this object and shows the light reflecting off the object as well, and to create the smudging to create the cast shadow. The only thing this one doesn't include here is an element of color, and what I would tell the student is I want some element of color so you can show me your understanding of color theory. So remember, white and black are shades. They don't not elements on the color wheel themselves. You don't need a lot of color. Even sometimes the smallest amount of color can change the tone of a piece of artwork, right? If I have an image and I choose to put red eyes on something, it might change how somebody sees that image versus light versus dark. Once you're done, take a photo of your work, upload it to Hapara. I'll put a Google Doc in there just like all the other assignments. And please let me know if I can share your work on Twitter. I love sharing out what you guys are doing at home with the other principals and the other art teachers and other students as well, so they can see it. If you're struggling to come up with an idea, feel free to search Google or even Pinterest. But please, all I'm going to ask is that if you find something, try to make it your own. Don't just copy it 100% off the internet. I'd like to see what you come up with and you create and how you implement value and shading and color theory into that work. But otherwise, creativity options are endless. Come up with something that you like and enjoy and show me what you can do. Thanks.